Hi, I'm Lisa Wilson, and I will be presenting Dan and Diane's Douglas estate plan. So as an introduction, Dan and Diane Douglas requested an estate plan to be developed for their current 2018 circumstances, and they also would like an estate plan for future circumstances in 2028. So in the first part of the 2028 estate plan, Dan has passed away, but the second part, Dan did not pass away. So the presentation will address property ownership, estate tax, gift tax, and probate property. So on this slide, we're looking at the current circumstances. And as you can see, we have Dan and Diane's property ownership as of today. And so you can see that with all their assets and their ownership, which is what is joint and which ones are owned separately by Dan and Diane, and then their current value along with the basis value. And then the beneficiary designations. So Diane is the beneficiary of Dan's 401k and Dan's life insurance. And then Dan is the beneficiary of Diane's life insurance. And then the joint property. So they both share ownership of the cash, balanced mutual fund, the residence, fifth wheel, and the personal property. So the percentage of contributions for their current circumstances. So Diane contributes 11% to her annual salary, and then that leaves 89% that Dan contributes to their annual salary. And now they jointly have a checking and savings account. So, but to break up who owns how much, we can base it off of that Diane contributes 11% and Dan contributes 89% based off of how much they contribute to the annual salary for the original purchase price of the assets. Now the basis of the high value property, so the residence is $652,320, and this is based off of how much they're paying on their 30-year mortgage. So by the time they pay their mortgage off, they would have paid $652,320 on their residence. And then the same goes for Dan's truck, which is $63,798, and Diane's Jeep, which is $35,897, and the fifth wheel, which is $71,550. So the ownership of life insurance for the current circumstance, Dan and Diane own both their policies, and so life insurance policies that are included into the gross estate if the estate of the descendant is the beneficiary, which Diane and Dan are. And then the beneficiary of the estate has a legally binding obligation to the use of the proceeds. And then if the decedent possess at his or own death any incidents of ownership, which Dan and Diane do have. So Dan and Diane's life insurance policies will be included into the gross estate. My recommendations is to transfer the life insurance policies into a trust, an ILIT. And then I would include Diane in the ownership of the rogue stock to avoid the probate process. I would make the vehicles joint ownership, again, to avoid the probate process. And then the following documents that need to be drafted are Dan and Diane need a will. They both need a durable power of attorney for healthcare, and then they also need an advanced medical directives. And then any documents that pertain to any trust if they were to establish them. Now, an estate lawyer can draft these documents for Dan and Diane. Shannon Stair is a trusted and established estate lawyer who can help Dan and Diane. The contact information is listed here. I would highly recommend him, and for Dan and Diane to get into contact with him. So here we're looking at the future circumstances, and this is the summary of gifts. How much Dan has left Dee and Dean, and then his grandchildren. And then we have the grand total here. And then the year 2028 gift tax calculation based off of the 2018 tax rules. And so based off of all these numbers, Dan or Diane will have a tax on taxable of $309,800. And then this is again the future circumstances, and we have the calculated probate estate for 2028. And so we list who owns what assets. And we have the full asset value, and then Dan's interest, and then the probate estate. Now, Dan has listed the Lego business in his will to go to Dean and Dee. But it's still maybe placed in probate. But this is the total probate estate, what will go to probate, because no ownership, joint ownership listed on these assets. And here we're looking at the future circumstances, the estate tax. And so the gross estate is $24,320,500. And so the federal estate tax liability will be $680,000, or the tentative tax will be $680,000. So with the future circumstances, we're going to discuss the possible business transfer options. And so a possibility would be to transfer the business into a revocable living trust, and the business will not be included in Dan's estate if it is placed into this trust, and it will minimize the transfer fees and then the estate tax and gift tax. And then this will also avoid probate. And then you can also transfer the business to Dee and Dean while Dan is alive. And so this will have probate avoidance, and then this will also minimize estate and gift tax, and then also transfer fees. So my recommendations would be to transfer the Lego business into the revocable trust. Include Diane in the ownership of Rogue stock, so that way it will not go into probate. Add Dean to the ownership of Dan's truck to avoid probate. And then place the grandchildren's inheritance into a trust, because the grandchildren are minors, and so they are not allowed to own assets. And so the inheritance would need to go into a trust. And this will it'll avoid the transfer costs and gift tax and estate tax and everything. The following documents need to be drafted. Diane needs a will, the durable power of attorney for healthcare, advanced medical directives, and any documents pertaining to trust. An estate lawyer can draft these documents for Dan and Diane. Shannon Sarah is a trusted and established lawyer who can help you. The contact information is listed, and these documents really need to be completed by November 30th of 2020. So to summarize the current circumstances and the future circumstances. So with the current circumstances, to avoid the probate process, I recommend the following. I recommend that you add ownership to Rogue stock and the vehicles. I would also place the insurance policies into an ILIT to avoid the policies from becoming part of the gross estate. And then I would also highly recommend that you draft the wills, the durable power of attorney for healthcare, advanced medical directives, and any documents pertaining to the trust. For the future circumstances, um, I recommend that you place the Lego business into a revocable living trust to avoid the probate process and also to minimize the gift and estate tax and transfer fees. I also highly recommend that you place the grandchildren's inheritance into a trust that they can access when they become of age. I would make rogue stock joint ownership with Diane to avoid probate. And then I would also add Dean as part owner of Dan's truck to avoid the probate process. And then the documents that need to be drafted are Diane's will, and you both need advanced medical directives and durable power of attorney for healthcare. And Shannon Stair, again, is the lawyer that I would highly recommend, and then his contact information is listed.